I don't really consider myself that much of a sentimental person, and I believe that's because I associate sentimentality with hoarding, the act of hoarding. Now, it's not like I come from a history of hoarding per se. I mean, my mom liked to keep a lot of things, little trinkets and things, but it wasn't too bad. And I mean, I did as a kid, collect Beanie Babies, something that supposedly would have a lot of value when I got older. Not really, didn't get any value, but I remember specifically there was this family friend we had. We'd go to their house like twice or thrice a month, and whenever you'd go, if you wanted to visit, the guy's room, you had to walk through a trail in the living room to a trail in the dining room and a trail up the stairs. It was ridiculous. I'm not like over exaggerating in any way. There was just so much junk and stuff in their house. There was only one pathway one could walk on. On the left, the right, there were boxes, there was Happy Meal toys, there was cups, there was things they'd order from like TV programs. It was just full. And it went on to the stairs. There was literally a path to the stairs on every stair. Left, right, left, right, left, right. There was just something. I don't know how you would find something in this house or how you could live in it, because it would be like my idea of hell. That would stress me out so much. And maybe that's the reason why I'm so scared of hoarding, is because that was such a bad experience, visiting that house. But now I swing back the complete opposite direction. I'm terrified of that, and so I try and get rid of things that I view with sentimentality, because I'm like, oh no, I don't want to begin hoarding things. I mean, currently, you might notice, I've got a couple things going down. I mean, I've got stuffed animals. We've got like a stuffed Pikachu back there. Why did I buy that? What's the use of it? I mean, when I went to Tokyo, I had such an amazing time with my friends. I had good experiences, and when I bought that, it was because I wanted something physical that represented the trip to me, that's small, cute, just a little trinket. Sure, anyone does the same thing as me. I have very similar things. I mean, I've got like this stuffed turtle. Does it have any value? No, but when I went to Hawaii, I had such a good time, I had such good memories, and when the tourism board gave me this, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna keep it. And I kind of put all my little stuffed animal and type things in the corner of my room. And no, it doesn't really have that much value, but you know what? I need to give myself a little bit of sentimentality, okay? Just a little bit. Otherwise, I get really scared. One of the weird things that I like to keep that scares me a bit more than most things is greeting cards. When is one supposed to throw away a greeting card? After a month, after a week? When is it rude to? Now, greeting cards are the same way for me. I don't keep them at all. Like, what are you supposed to do? You read it, you go, thanks, and then you bin it. However, I do actually have one of these cards, and every time I see it at my desk, I go, oh, when should I throw that away? I can't just keep this card forever. But then I always read it, and I go, oh, I don't want to throw it away. It's really nice. It's basically a letter that my friend Dodie got me for my birthday this year, and it has a pun in it, but it's like such my style pun, and it's funny. It says, a lorry carrying the ingredients needed to make bread has a confusing internal structure. Dough van is amazing. It's dumb, it's silly, but to me, it's this very small thing that I can look at that reminds me of this friendship that I very much appreciate. And so I've kept it. I've kept it on my desk. I allow myself to have one or two very small things, and I think that way I can kind of be happy at this war in my head of hoarding and, liking sentimental things. Now, my father hasn't really given me that many gifts throughout my life. I can actually count the number of gifts my dad has given me on one hand. Now, the first gift he gave me, well, I think I was about in 7th grade, and I took one of those college aptitude tests. Funny fact, the aptitude test that I took told me that I was supposed to be a statistician. And I remember laughing and going, that sounds boring. I hate stats. Fun fact, that's what my degree was in and what I enjoy doing at work. Stats is my thing. So maybe those college aptitude tests actually do work. Now, the second result that it chose for me was an architect. An architect, I thought. That sounds nice. I looked it up. They make a lot of money. I came from working class. I thought this would be a good way to get out of this caste system I was in. I mentioned it briefly to my father, oh, I might want to be an architect. The next day, he comes home and brings me all this architect stuff. I got this giant drawing board and an easel and pencils and protractors, and I was overwhelmed. What am I supposed to do with this? I don't even know where to start. He went, just architect, man, just draw. I don't know. I tried drawing a picture. I'm so bad at drawing. I can't draw a thing. Stick figures? That's the joke. I can't even draw stick figures, okay? They look like zombies. Either way, I used to literally draw them without bodies. It would just be legs and heads. But that's beside the point. The point is, after a couple weeks, my dad realized, I wasn't really going to be doing anything with this architect stuff, and he ended up giving it away. The second gift he ended up giving me was a Gamecube. He was convinced I was gay and thought, you know what? I'm going to give you a Gamecube if you go to one of these school dances and dance with a girl. So I lied to him. At the dance, I just stood next to the punch bowl for 3 hours, and I got a Gamecube out of it. Great! However, my house was burglarized when I was a teen, and guess what? There it goes. My Gamecube was stolen, so didn't get that gift. But the third and final gift my father gave me was a Leatherman's Super Tool. This is a really good dad gift. If you're unfamiliar with what a Leatherman Super Tool is, it is basically the best tool you can ever have, all right? It's a knife, it's a pair of pliers, it's got a ruler on the side, it's got a saw, it's got like scissors, a bottle opener, anything you could ever need is in this amazing tool. Now he gave me this because I was in the Boy Scouts and it proved so useful. I would whittle with it, I would like saw some wood with it when I was in Scouts, you know, be prepared. That's the Scout motto. It was perfect. I used it all the time. Now, when I ended up moving to the UK, luckily I had to make up my mind about what stuff to bring. I only brought 2 suitcases with me because the thing was, I never really planned on moving here permanently. It was just a 1-year thing. Why would I bring my, collection of Harry Potter books with me to England to just go back? It doesn't make sense. Now, I did end up moving here and I've collected so much stuff. It stresses me out quite a bit. In fact, like I've got a beer stein from Oktoberfest, I've got a 4K TV now, I've got, this is my bed. Like I bought this mattress so I'd have a nice mattress to sleep on. So I've got quite a lot of stuff and it stresses me out just a little bit. But one thing that I did bring with me to the UK was that Leatherman super tool. It's just so useful. It's a great device to have on you at all times. I always throw it in my backpack. You never know when you could use it. Now, 2 years ago, in about March or April, I went to Playlist Live in Orlando, Florida, because I was going to a YouTube convention. What do you not need there? Probably a Leatherman super tool, but you never know. And so I put this in my luggage and brought it with me. Now you might be thinking, what did you use it for? I think I used it for something, because on my way back, when I got to the airport in Florida to come back to London, I had put it in my backpack because that's usually where I kept it just in case I needed it. So I go to the security line and the security officer is like, oh, I'm really sorry, you can't bring this with you. And my heart sank. I'm with my friends, they're looking at me, I'm really embarrassed about this. I shouldn't have brought this in my carry-on, and everyone's thinking probably like, why do you even have this in the first place? And I was like, I guess, what should I do? And the guy told me, oh, you can go to the back of the queue, and then there's also like a post office, maybe you want to mail it to yourself in London. And that was just such a hassle. I was with my friends, I didn't really want to leave them, and so I started to get a bit of anxiety, and I went, oh, you know what, just bin it. Just bin the super tool. And he was like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. And what he ended up doing was he gave me the case back. So at this point, I've just got a leather case for my super tool. Great. I come back to London, bit depressed about it, and I was like, what do I do with this case? I thought, oh, I'll just throw it in my box of wires. Now, I don't know about you, but every 20-something-year-old man in my life has a box of wires. It's a box full of all the wires from different things that you've bought over the years. PS4 is a charging cable. It also has like charging cable with the batteries for the controller. And then there's also like, I've got boxes from watches I've bought, different cameras I've bought. There was like Hercules hooks in there. What? When am I gonna hang up a painting? I don't know why I even bought those in the first place. But there's a lot of stuff just completely tangled. Whenever I clean my room or I tweet about cleaning my room, I always avoid that box, okay? Because it's just stressful. I don't know what's going on in there, and I've brought it with me from house to house to house, and it's just not something I'm ever gonna tackle. However, as you've noticed on this channel, I've been talking about self-improvement and actually improving my life, and that has been such a big anxiety for me that the other day, I was like, I'm gonna tackle this box. I cleaned my room. I cleaned it so much, I ironed every single shirt, every single t-shirt I had. I organized every drawer, and then I got to the dreaded wire box. I went through, I was detangling headphones that sure, they worked, but you know what? I haven't worn these in like 6 years. I have other headphones. I was getting rid of like GoPro equipment that was like from the GoPro 2. I don't even know where the original GoPro is. So I'm like getting rid of stuff, and I get to the very bottom of my box, and there I see the Leatherman's Super Tool case. And I looked at it and I went, why do I have this? What purpose does this serve? There's nothing inside of it right now. There's no reason for me to constantly bring this from house to house. I'm going to become what I hate. I'm going to become this hoarder. I cannot keep this. If my father gave it to me, whatever. It doesn't really matter. It's not that big of a deal. And so I toss it in the bin. A week later, which was this present week, I went to North Wales, the middle of nowhere, near a city called Lan Fair Gwyn Go, you know the one. And I got an ad served on my Facebook that was for, coincidentally, the Leatherman Super Tool. And my heart leapt up and I went, oh, I never even considered this. First off, I went, wow, those are expensive. I didn't know my dad purchased such a nice gift for me. But my second thought was, I can just purchase another one and then use the case. And then immediately my heart sunk because I had gotten rid of the case. Why does this matter? It's just a leather case. I called up my friend at home to be like, can you please search the trash? I'm really sorry. I really want this case. And no, the trashman had already taken it. I was considering calling up the garbage people of my town and being like, can I look through the trash? And it sounds really stupid. It sounds very opposite of how I normally am to care so much about something that has no actual value. And it was 100% just sentimental and in my head. And the thing is, the more I thought about it, that case was the last physical thing that I had in this world that attached me to my father. Like I said, he barely gave me anything. And so the fact that he gave me such a good gift that I threw both parts away, it just makes me quite a bit sad. I now no longer have anything attached to him in any regard. I don't know how I feel about that. It's probably because, to be honest, this week is the 2-year anniversary that my father passed away, and that's definitely been on my mind. So even though I've been feeling really happy and my mental health's been really great, as soon as this happened, everything kind of just went straight down, and I didn't know what to do. I couldn't believe I'd self-sabotage myself in such a way to throw something out that I knew I'd want because I'm so scared of being a hoarder, because I had to swing back the other way. And it does upset me, but in terms of thinking positively, I'm trying to view this as positive as I can. I did just buy new Leathermans, and it does come with a case, and sure, it's not the one that he gave me, and it's not the case that he gave me, but I feel like anytime I use this knife, I can know that, you know, I'm using it in memory of him. You know, he gave this type of thing to me, and I still have one, you know, and I'll think of him when I use it. And that's the positive spin I'm going to try and view this situation on, and maybe in the future try to be less so swing back and forth between hoarding and being sentimental, and just try and even out a bit. But yeah, that's basically my story today. It's one of those things where it's been on my mind, and it feels so nice to just get it out there. I don't know if this is relatable for any of you out there. I honestly don't. It's not necessarily something that's been on my mind. My main thing is I just wanted to say this out loud, get it out there, express this. Hopefully, maybe this is relatable to someone, maybe not. I don't know if y'all are sentimental. I try not to be, but thank you very much for taking the time to watch this little story. One take, Timmy. Can't believe I did it. There might have been some Zoom edits, but it's just a bit hard, you know, the 2-year anniversary. It's going to get better. Next week, I'll be fine. It's just these things come around, and you got to think about it. You got to owe that respect. Might not have been the best dad, but I know, thinking positively to end this off, when I get older and I'm old enough to have a kid of my own, I'm going to give him a nice Leatherman Super Tool, maybe this one, and I'll try and be the best father I can be, and that is the best thing I can do in my situation. Anyway, thanks for watching. I will see you guys next week. Hope you have a happy Halloween and a happy Sunday. Goodbye.